تبسم النبي تبسم اللهم صل عليه قلبي المتيم كلما صلى عليك وسلم ذاق السعادة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name, I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful, all praises be to God, Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful, Master of the day of judgment. Thee do we worship, and thy aid do we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those who thou hast bestowed thy favor, not the way of those who earn thy wrath, nor of theirs who go astray. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful. Qul hu Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad, wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Say he, Allah is one. Allah, the exalted, the absolute. He neither begets nor is he begotten, and there is none like unto him. I greet each and every one of you with the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace of God be upon you, your families, your friends, and your well-being. I'm praying that God has blessed you throughout this time. Since the last time I was on the Brother's Corner speaking with you, I pray that you have received blessings in abundance. I'm praying that you have shared what those blessings are to someone else and given them hope and courage to continue to move forward so that they can receive the blessings that they have also. There was a brother upon whom was being taken on a journey. And in this journey, he noticed that there were a numerous amount of doors or rooms or avenues going down this path he was going to the destination that he was supposed to be. And in the process of going there, he noticed the doors, and all the doors had names on them. And so he happened to come upon a door on which had his name. And so he questioned as to why his name was on that door. And the reply to him was that, you don't want to know about that. Come on, we're going to keep going on down to where we're supposed to be going. And so he inquired about what is this room and why is his name on this particular door. So he said, I want to know what's in this room. And so the door was open for him. And when he looked upon what was in the room, all he had seen was very little boxes. Millions and millions of boxes stacked all around. And he began to wonder, what is these little boxes? And again, he was inquiring, don't worry about it, just let's go. And he was adamant about knowing what was in those boxes. And so it was shared with him that in these boxes were blessings. And these blessings were blessings upon which you missed. Because you didn't recognize the mercy of Allah. You didn't recognize the blessings of Allah. You didn't recognize the blessings that you had, that Allah has supplied you with. And these are those blessings that you missed out on. So I say this to you. Don't miss out on your blessing. Your blessing, you being blessed, may be a blessing for someone else. For you to share that with someone else may be a blessing for you. It's all right to talk about the goodness of Allah. It's all right to talk about the rahmah of Allah to others. When Allah has blessed you with a thing, it's all right to speak on it. It's not a sign of gloat or a sign of brag, but it's a sign of recognizing the mercy of Allah and sharing with people that Allah's mercy is real. This increases the iman and the taqwa of ones. This increases the faith or the hope and fear of Allah in others when they see the blessings of Allah being blessed upon other people. They know that they are in line of true blessings. If you never see the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from someone or something, then it becomes a doubtful situation to you. It becomes a questionable situation. And what does doubt does? It kills the light of desire. When it kills the light of desire, that means that you're no longer looking forward to what is, because you've settled for what wasn't. So always remember the blessings of God and share to people what God has done for you, how He's blessed. You know something, and I want to go too far off, but we get caught up in the point of what it means to give dawah and how to give it, how to give the good news. We get caught up in that and not understanding that when giving one the good news about Allah, it first has to start coming from your experience. People deal with people based on experiences. People deal with people based on emotions and feelings. And when you begin to talk to people about the greatness of Allah in your life, that encourages them. They begin to be able to see the walk and the joy, the excellency that comes from you just by you recognizing what Allah had done for you. So for you to go out and promulgate what Allah done for you, for others to be able to see the realness and the blessings of Allah, is a blessing in itself. Don't shorten people on knowing the glory of Allah. Don't shorten people on knowing the glory of Allah. People relate through ways of feelings and emotions. When you speak to them, when you talk to them about the good news, they're looking for an inner feeling that you're giving. They're looking for a spiritual connection. They're looking for a relief, a joy in what you're saying. They're looking at you yet, but they're looking at what you are, what you're producing, to see if that is something that tie into what they want and what they're looking for. You can talk all day about a thing and don't have no connection to it, and the people don't pick it up. But soon you show some type of emotional connection. You show your iman and your taqwa in what you're speaking on with regards to Allah and His deen, then people pick that up. Brothers and sisters pick that up. And when they pick that up, it encourages them. It fills their inners to the remembrance of Allah. It guides their inners for the remembrance of Allah. And then you carry that out. They carry that out. That's a brother to a brother and a sister to a sister. That is the assistance that is needed from everyone. So why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Because we have Muslims in our society today, no matter where you are, where you're living, what community you're residing in, what mosque you're residing in, it doesn't matter. Even if you're a traveler, it doesn't matter. We have Muslims in the midst of us that are crying out from the soul for the assistance of the Muslims to just keep them as a reminder to stay on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, on the straight and narrow path. You got Muslims crying out for guidance on how to guide their children and to keep their children into the fold of Islam. You got Muslims crying out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the believers just to have the fellowship. Muslims looking for them shaheeds, them shaheedas, inshallah, in their lives. You have our youth Muslims crying out for just proper guidance and a way to do things that fits them and their understanding, and not caught up in old things in ways that cannot be perceived. But today, them things almost appears to be non-void. Why? Because we have so many people seeking for something and can't find it. So dunya or shaitan, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, I seek refuge in Allah from Satan the accursed. Either he or the dunya in which he resides become the influence over those who are seeking influence from the righteous, and because they can't do it, we've left them out on the lurch, and now they're being attacked from every way in a weak way. In a weak way, right? At their stage of weakness, and because the believers are not there to be that person that resembles the truth, to give them that reminder about the truth, we end up becoming engulfed with what is not real and being taken over by the whisper and guided by the nafs, and find ourselves in situations that we should not be in. When only if we had the believers in the midst of us that we feel comfortable enough to be able to share with them what's going on with us and believe honestly that they genuinely care and that they genuinely have something for me. If not an answer, they have something of experience, dawah. They have something of experience for me that perhaps I can take and look at and carry on as a way to come out or a way to help me in what I'm doing. So in order to do that, we have to share. We have to share. Don't grab your blessings and hog tie it. No. Let the world know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Akbar. He's blessing you. Not to brag or to boast, but out of humility, out of the love of Allah. Out of the love of Allah, allow that to come about. And more people will see that. More and more people will come to the fold of Deen when they know that they can come and ask questions and be guided aright. More and more will come. But we have to be an open book to them. We have to be an open ear to them. We have to be an open eye to them, so that when they do come, they receive a proper guidance where it makes them hungry to come back for more. Now, I've been experiencing something that have been really enlightening to me. And I'm going to share with you what that is. This week past, I have had for individuals to call me in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. Why? Seeking for some assistance, seeking for an ear to be listened to because they're being attacked by shaitan, and they just needed the ear of the believer to be there to give them that support, that assistance, to know that it's going to be okay. Rely on the law and rebuke shaitan. They needed that ear. So I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you. I thank him that you're utilizing what I asked you to utilize, that when you need to talk, when you find yourself in a predicament where you need someone to speak to, call me. Let me know. I'll talk to you, or I'll just be an ear to hear. But I don't want you to ever believe that you're all alone, that you have nobody, because that is not true. As long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide and decree the life and breath in this brother, Muhammad Abu Bakr Abdullah, I'm going to be here, inshallah, to at least hear what you have to say, even if it's just to get to hear and no feedback. I want to be that brother for you. We all should be that brother or that sister for the next one. How often have it been that we have found ourselves in circumstances that we wish that we had someone to talk to, someone just to confide in, someone just to hear me, not to speak, but just to hear what I'm saying, just so I can hear what I'm saying as I'm talking to you. I just want to bounce things off of you. How many of us have wanted to do that and found that it was more harder to be able to do because we didn't have the appropriate individuals to listen to or to be able to bounce things off of? How many have gone through that? Let's be more open to be understanding about what we people are going through. Let me share another thing with you. Something incident happened to me while I was inside. There was a young man, and he used to always call me his big brother. And a lot of people would tell him, you ain't his big brother, you just, because he was from a different culture than I was. And he would yell over to me, hey, brother Abdullah, hey, brother Bakr. And I would say, yes, brother. He'd say, aren't you my brother? Yes, brother, I'm your brother. I'm your brother. People couldn't understand why I would say that because they didn't understand the relationship that I built with this young man while being there with me. They couldn't understand that. But this young man used to walk around and talk about how it was hard for him to deal with the things he was dealing with inside, that this is not for him, that he couldn't deal with this. He's not made for that type of confinement. He wasn't made for that. He used to go around, he always used to talk about that with people. And everybody used to tell him, man, quit crying. You here now, ain't nothing you can do about it except get back in the course and go back and get out. Other than that, deal with it, man. And stop whining and all this stuff. And they used to shoot him off. I did that a few times. But what I did not know was that we got to stop for a minute and stop judging people. We got to stop for a minute and just listen to what people are saying, because people be crying out. People be seeking the assistance of us, and we don't hear it for the smite of our own understanding, or we believe, or being in our own heads. People, we can't understand that people is really trying to say something to us. And all this time, this young man had been trying to say something. He had been trying to get us to listen to what it is he was trying to say, but none of us listened. And one day, the young man, I woke up, and the police was at my door, my room. And I'm asking them, what's going on? He said, did you hear anything? I said, I heard nothing. Nothing. Not a peep. I said, why do you ask, sir? He said, because your neighbor just hung himself. Who? Your neighbor next door. That shocked a whole compound of people. Why? Because they wouldn't expect this individual to do something like that. But he was crying out all alone, trying to get somebody to hear him. But nobody was hearing him. We were doing more about telling them to criticize him or telling them to cool out and quit being a punk and soft and all that. We wasn't really hearing that he was really serious in talking to us about his circumstances. And because we wasn't hearing it, he didn't get the assistance perhaps that he needed, so he took his own life. I live with that today. I hoped that I was able to listen to that brother when he had needed someone to listen to. I hoped that I had the understanding that I ended up with after that brother had took his life. I hope that I had that understanding that he needed to be listened to. He was crying out for something. See, we take people crying out for assistance and help as they're complaining or they don't want to be. Some cases that's true, but not in all. We just need to listen. People cry out in the way that they believe is most comfortable. To cry out to some is most embarrassing. So they have to do it in the best way to feel secure in doing it. But in doing so, we have to have an ear to listen and not a judgment point of just judging them. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying. It's a purpose for why they're coming to you saying it. They chose you. Why did they chose you to come and talk to about that? But in their choice, they found out perhaps they made the wrong choice. So they dealt with it on their own and found themselves in circumstances that was not, that even warranted for them to be in. But because they didn't have no one to listen, man, listen to me. We got to start being listeners to people out here, especially those that are coming out of the penitentiary system. You need to listen to them. That's no joke in there. That's nothing to be played with in there. And everybody that have been in there should be able to tell you or contest to what I'm saying. That's nothing to be played with in there. And so you should have a keener ear to listen, not that they're dangerous or nothing, but listen to them. People out here should be listened to. Your child, listen, because they be trying to tell you something, but you don't hear despite the fact that you're into your own world. We're into our own world. I thank Allah that I'm able to be one that people can call and talk to. I asked the Lord to mold me into who He wanted me to be. And inshallah, if this is what Allah wants me to be, an ear to people to be able to hear, a voice to people to be able to be heard, eyes for people to be able to see the glory of Allah, then I stand on that pillar of doing so. And I ask each and every one of you to join me in that stand. It is truly a blessing when you can stand in the place of a person and put yourself in their situation and show them kindness in their time of need. That in itself defines the type of person that you are. We got to start listening when ones be talking. We have to listen. We have to listen. A whole lot of things, if God so will, could perhaps be prevented if we just had enough compassion to give a little bit of ear. To give a little bit of ear. I'm good with saying it's not what is being said, it's what is behind what is being said that we have to listen to. Because people don't want to come right out and say what's going on with them for the sake of being seen as something weak or whatever it may be. So now we live in a time in which we have to pay attention to people so we can tell in body language and in conversation and the emotions of what they're saying, what it is that they're trying to get through. Because they're not going to just tell you that they're scared or they're in need. That's like, in our society, something you just don't do. Even though scared is a part of life. It's one of the major feelings of life. So, what do we do about this? How do we reach out with our ears to hear a person when they have something to say? And hopes that it will be just what is needed to help them save them from themselves. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. We're here to serve God, and serving God is to see after the fellow man. To do the best that we can to be an assistance to them. Inshallah. Sister Aida said she can't hardly understand a lot of sense. I know, because a lot of you all speak different languages. And I apologize. I am trying to strive to learn different languages so that I can speak to you. May Allah forgive me for you not being able to word with you, sister. Assalamu alaikum to all of you on here. I apologize to you if I'm speaking and you cannot understand what I'm saying. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the ability to be able to do so, or give me the ability to be able to speak to you in a language that you understand soon, inshallah. Because this is for you as well as for everybody else. I hope that you will share this with someone who can speak English so that they can explain it to you in your language. Let's take this serious. Let's take this serious. Because I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know what is going on with you. How are you feeling today? What is life like for you today? What's on your heart? Is there a thing weighing down on your heart heavy today? Is your heart light today? Is there joy running through you today? I'd like to know that you have that. A lot of people would like to know about that because they might live in the midst of nothing but confusion where they don't get to see a spark of joy much. So when they get to come on here or they get to see you, they get to smile just for a minute. If it's just for a second, they get to smile. Why? Because you bring that to them. That in itself is called sadaqah. That is a charitable act. That is a charitable act. It just dawns on me. The calls that I get in the middle of the night, just ones wanting someone just to hear them. I'll be in a dead sleep and get a call in the middle of the night because someone needs just to hear a voice. I am so grateful that I could be the ear that you found to hear your voice, my beloved family. I am so grateful for that. And I pray to Allah that I'm always able to be here. And I pray to Allah that you don't condemn me because I can't, if I can. Believe me, everything is by the decree of Allah. If you see me, it's the decree of Allah. If you don't, it's the decree of Allah. Let us be okay with that. And just make the dua that everything's okay, and then we see each other or hear from each other again soon. Allah is the most greatest. He is the greatest. And I'm praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we start putting more effort in understanding and hearing what one's talking about, what is coming from the heart of individuals. So inshallah, we can play as preventative measures or measures of encouragement to whomever or whatever they're going through. Today is Jumu'ah, Jumu'ah Mubarak. I thank Allah for today as every day. But I just want to come here and speak with you. Speak with you. And ask you to do something for humankind. Open your ears to hear the hearts of people. And if God so will, He may place in you a decree where you will be able to give a response, to give just a little relief to the next person. We wonder why things are going on around us and in our society. That's because no one is paying attention. No one is listening. No one appears to care. At least in the majority. At least in the majority. I care. Hey there, Dante, I love you, brother. May God bless you and your wife. I care. I care. And I need you to care for me. I need you to be that ear for me. That voice for me. That eye for me. That sight. I need you to be that for me. As that reminder to me of Allah's blessings. Just by you listening to me. Gives me great hope. Great courage. It inspires me to continue to go. And if it does that for me, I'm sure that it could do that for you. Time out for shyness. Time out for scared or worried what somebody's going to think about you or what they're going to say about you. It's time out for that. It's time for us to start listening to one another. It's time for us to start listening to our family members. Listening to our husband and wives. Listening. What's going on with them? How are they feeling inside? Is it something that they need to talk to us about? Is it something that they need to share? I'm always asking my wife, what's going on? How are you feeling? Is there anything that's going on you need to share? I'm always sharing with my wife and others. Why? Because that's the way you deal with it. That's the way you share things. You get that stuff out. May it be good or may it be bad. You share. Find someone to share it with. And whomever you find to share it with, make sure them individuals are willing to receive. They ain't got to respond. You don't always got to solve the problem. Just listen. Sometimes the problems be solved already, but they just need to speak it so they can get some more clarity to it. They're just trying to get clarity. People just want to be heard. You ain't always got to try to solve the problem. The problem may already have been solved. They're just trying to be heard. There are a lot of people just trying to be heard. Do you have the capacity or the love for people to lend an ear? Lending an ear can save lives. Lending an ear can save lives. Because people are going through things. Things some they are embarrassed for, whether it be major or minor. Some people have things they don't want to share because they're afraid that we're going to just ridicule them and beat them down. So they keep that stuff in them and they bottled up in them and then they go postal. But had the society had made it easier for people to be able to address their feelings, man, listen, let me tell you something. Feelings are a part of you. They are natural for you to be sad, happy, mad, glad, afraid. These are your natural feelings. They are what makes you up. They are yours. They are valid. What tells the tale of difference is how you act, the act behind your feelings. But your feelings are yours and no one can argue that your feelings aren't valid. They're yours. If you feel that way, then that's how you feel. But how you act them feelings out then becomes something different because you now involving others. You imposing others on your feeling. I respect your feeling. I do. So hurt is a feeling. So don't be afraid of it. If you're feeling something and you need to talk to someone, then do that. If you're feeling something and you need to cry, then cry. If you're feeling something and you need to yell and just for that relief, then call on him. Yell and call on him. It's nothing wrong with it. Don't worry about nobody talking about how you looking, you crazy and all that. Don't worry about that because your relief is in what you do. It's in what you do. People yell and cry for a whole lot of things out there. So what's wrong with you having that ability to be able to do so? How you doing, brother? Odell, I see you here, beloved. D. West, I see you here, beloved. What is it? It's okay for you to have feelings. It's okay for you to talk about them feelings. It's okay for you to share what they are. They are yours. They are your feelings. Just know that with some feelings, they are associated with another feeling. It's okay. We have to be okay with you being okay that you okay with your feelings. And when you need to speak out, we need to be more compassionate, more merciful towards one another, and utilize the loan that God has given us with regards to our ears, listening to what other people are saying, listening to what they're going through. I'm telling you today that if you utilize what the Lord Subhanahu has given you, your ability to hear, to use it to help other people, to listen to what they're going through, I guarantee you that you will find that you will make a bigger print in our society of a righteous magnitude than anything else. All we got to do is use what Allah gave us. Use our ability to hear and listen to people when they speaking. It don't always feel like you got to be the one to give them the guidance or the way. Just listen. They'll let you know if they need you to solve it. They'll let you know if they need you to give them a way to solve it. Sometimes they just need an ear. People going through things in our society today. People are hurting in our society today. And they just need somebody they can reach out to. They need somebody to just look at them and tell them, hey, I know you're going through, but guess what? There's more light at the end of the tunnel than you can ever believe in. All you got to do is be steadfast. I had a man once tell me, he said that when you feel like you can't stand there no more, when you feel like it's done, it's over, I can't do it no more. When you feel like that, then stand there forth. Why? Because that is the greatest way of faith. That is what faith is. It's when you did all you could do and you just can't do no more. And then you still stand there. Now you're relying on the law. Now you're relying on God. In that moment, now you're relying on Him. Because you have realized that you have nothing. There's nothing in it that you can do to change about what you're trying to change about yourself. And so now you're relying on God to do it because you know you can't do it. That is the true stage of faith. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Can't nobody do nothing to you that you can't do to them, and can't nobody do nothing to you that Allah can't do to us all in a greater magnitude. I cry like you cry. Why should I be afraid to cry when I feel a certain kind of way? I feel like you feel. Why I can't feel that I don't have the right to feel a certain kind of way if you do? All of us have different feelings, but we hide them. We cover them up for the sake of what people will say in our society or around us. And then we become hard-hearted to whoever is around us, and they can be the very help that we need. We become hard-hearted and pig-headed with our own selves. We become black-hearted with our own selves for the lack of allowing that stuff to come out and finding someone to share it with. Brothers and sisters, I am here. I am your brother in the corner, Muhammad Abu Bakr Abdullah. I am here. I am here. I am here to listen, if that's the need. And if there's encouragement that is needed by way of facilitating or by way of mentoring, I am here for that. And I'm asking you to reciprocate that back to me. Be that for me. Let us be that for one another. That's what a ummah is. That's what a community is. That's what a jamaat does. That's what makes it solid. When you know that when your back itch, your brother or your sister is there to help you get that itch out. When I'm going through something, I could call and talk to a brother or a sister, and they there to hear me. I'm not going to get ridiculed and criticized because I made a mistake or that I did a wrong, or nobody ain't going to try to hate on me because I'm telling them that I got a blessing. We're going to take this and strive and love Allah and believe in the decree of Allah for what we're going through. For me to share my blessing with you is the decree of Allah. So it is something you're supposed to be getting out of. It's something for you. And if I share for you my pain, is the decree of Allah. And there's something that you need to learn from it. Perhaps there's something you need to give me so I can learn from it. But we can't do that if I can't share it with you. I can't do that if I can't call you and feel comfortable enough to share with you what's going on with me. There's a lot going on in our world today. And we need people to be able to share that with. We need that relief. Do you need that relief? I mean, be truthful to yourself. Be truthful to yourself. How many times you have wanted someone just to hear you? You might be right there right now, going through something. Just need somebody just to hear you, man. Just to feel like somebody hear me. I'm here. I'm telling you that I'm here. You're friends with me on Facebook. Hit me up personally. Go on in Messenger and text me. I'll text you back. And I'll be truthful. You want to talk? I'll hear you. If you just want to talk and you want me to listen, I'll do that. But if there's no Allah mentioned in it, if there's no God mentioned in it, know that at some point in time I'm going to do that, because I can't sit there and just listen to all that and no recognition of God. I can't do it. It's just, I can't do that. I got to bring him into it, because nothing happens without his decree. Nothing. You won't change, it's going to come through him. You won't change of Allah, it's going to come through him. You want what's better, it's going to come through him. We got to start listening, paying attention to the people around us, right in our own circles. We have to start listening. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. We have to listen. Don't take on it, just listen. Just give them an ear. Let them know they care. Let them know they're not alone. Let them know you're rejoicing with them. And what barakah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to them, you're rejoicing with them. What happened to that? What happened to being happy for people when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them a blessing? What happened to that? MashaAllah, Allah has rewarded you with whatever. MashaAllah, may He continue to reward you with what it is. MashaAllah, whatever happened to us, showing the gratitude and the appreciation of Allah's blessing upon other people and or ourselves by sharing it. What's wrong with doing that? Because we quick to be able to harp on the negative, but share your good. Make a person's day by sharing your good. What is good about your day in the eyesight of God? Wa alaikum salam, brother. What is your good, Brother Abdul Sabah? What is it? We got to begin reaching out to one another as we should, as we always have been decreed to do. Reach out to your fellow man, your fellow sister, and just listen. It may be they don't need nothing from you. They just want your ear. They just need somebody, a shoulder, to just cry on for a minute. Get off my shoulder, you all that weak stuff. No. Come on, I'm here. You want a hug? Come on. I got you, brother. Come on, get a hug. Sisters, tell the sisters. Sister, you need a hug? Come on, I'll hug you for the pleasure of Allah. I'll do that. I'll be here to help relieve you of some of the things that you perhaps are going through. I'll do that for the sake of Allah. I'll sacrifice times that I have to be there for you. I'll do that for the sake of Allah. Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give to us the clear understanding of what our mission here on this here earth you've given us towards one another. You going through something? You going through something? Call on Allah. Call on Allah. You going through something? Call on Allah. You need someone to listen? Call on Allah. Then call on your brothers and sisters. Always call on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. And then Allah will guide you to those whom you can relay what you're going through. And perhaps, inshallah, they will have something to give you that perhaps Allah will use as a way of His decree to give you ease. To give you ease in whatever you're going through. How often do we just tell a person that we love them for the sake of Allah? How? I don't even know you. How can I love you and I don't even know you for the sake of Allah? For the sake of Allah. For the sake of Allah. Look into that. Find out what it means to love for the sake of God. What it means to do for the sake of God. What it means to do fi sabilillah. What do that mean? Look that up. What do it mean to do fi sabilillah? If we all could do and live fi sabilillah, then we find that we can't be let down. We can't be disappointed because we do it fi sabilillah. When we do it for the sake of Allah, we know man has a tendency of not being able to hold up certain statuses because he's man. He's prone to do something that may be wrong. But with Allah, Allah can hold it up. So do it for the sake of Allah. When you do it for Allah, then to be hurt and to be let down becomes nothing. Why? Because you wasn't doing it for them in the get-go. You was doing it for the sake of Allah. Allah is Akbar. Allah is Akbar. Allah is the greatest. He is the greatest. You say that throughout the day. God is the greatest. We say that. Well, we got to start showing it. We got to start showing it. Again, I love you for the sake of Allah. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you love me for the sake of Allah. And I ask you, lend an ear. Lend an ear. When someone starts talking to you, it may even seem as though they're rambling on about whatever. Just lend an ear. And if they get into too much negativity, then, okay, I can understand you trying to lessen that. But even while they're doing that, dhikr. While they're talking to you, dhikr. Dhikr to Allah. Remember Allah while they're talking to you. This protects you. Dhikr. Dhikr. Remember God when someone's talking to you. Stay in prayer when someone's talking to you. You don't have to be verbal. You could be doing it within and listening to what they're saying. But lend an ear. You never know what someone's going through and the assistance you could be with them if you don't listen. And remember, you want someone to listen to you. I thank you, brothers and sisters. I reach out to you just to share a good word. As I've said before, I'm not your imam. I'm not your sheikh. I'm not your alim. I'm not your hafiz. I'm just your brother. Your brother. In the brother's corner. Just reaching out to you. Just loving on you for the sake of Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us His guidance. May God give us His guidance. May He see us safe in His guidance. May He see us safe in His love. Safe in this world. May He open our hearts with more love and compassion. May He place in the heart of every living man and woman the seed of rahmah, the seed of mercy towards others. May he give us clear, open understanding, clear, open listening to others and what they're going through. Everybody goes through something. And at times, people need to just have someone to listen to what they're going through. And if you can be that ear to someone who knows the impact that could be on someone, just listening to someone, just listening, giving them an ear. Give someone a shoulder if they need to cry. Give them a hand if they need lifted up. Sometimes you may be in what we consider to be a disagreement about something. But just for the sake of God, find what you agree with them to change it and then get hooked on what you agree with them for. Try to stay away from the negativity. Always think positive. Always think moving forward. Always think how you can increase your blessings in this life. Because we're going to need them. Always see how you can increase your blessings by doing what is right, by listening to people. Inshallah, if God so will. Lend your ear to the people in your home. When your children talking to you, don't shun them. Don't overlook them. Don't play like you know it all and that you know it. No, stop for a moment and just listen. Because sometimes they be crying out and they be trying to tell you something. Not just your children, adults. They be crying out and they be trying to tell you something. You got to have your heart in the right place so you can receive these things. You are a counselor for me and I can be one for you. So with that state that, I'm asking you, show more compassion to those around you. Show more compassion. Try that. Let's try just showing more compassion to the people around us. Show more compassion to yourself. Let's see how far that goes. I thank for you brothers and you sisters that call me. I don't mind y'all the calls in the middle of the night, before Fajr. Thank you for waking me up for Fajr. I thank Allah for it. Because I know if you reach me as the decree of Allah, then that means that I have a duty. And I have to get up and check and see what that duty is. Because nothing happens for nothing. I thank you for calling. I thank you for getting on Messenger and message me. I thank you for what you're saying with regards to the YouTube page. I pray that more and more if you connect with me on there. Connect with me on YouTube. I've placed my YouTube link inside of my Facebook page for you to be able to get on there and share, like, and subscribe with me. I pray that you do that. Just like you come in on Facebook with me, I pray that you get onto YouTube with me. I need you to show that love to me on there. I need for you to show that love on there. So as your brother, Muhammad Abu Bakr Abdullah, the brother in the brother's corner, I just wanted to reach out to you this day of Friday, this blessed day, and tell you something. Y'all ready for what I'm finna tell you? Make sure now, because, hey, it's between me and you, and I don't want everybody to know. I'm finna tell you this. I'm finna tell you this now. You might, matter of fact, I give you the opportunity to do something. Before I get ready to say this, go ahead and share it with somebody else. Share it with somebody else. And I'm finna tell you something right now. I've been waiting this whole time just to tell you this. You ready? You ready for me to tell you? This is what I want to tell you. I love you. I thank Allah for you. I thank Allah for you. I thank Allah for his decree. I thank you for your ear to listen to me. I thank you for your ears to hear me. Because you don't have to do this. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to friend. You don't have to like. You don't have to make comments. You have to do none of this, but you do. And I am grateful, grateful, grateful to Allah for this. This is Allah's movement, inshallah. And I like to keep it that way. I like to keep it that way. So I'm asking you, join me. Facebook, YouTube, join me. Get more people involved. Have them go on there and look at what is being said. If you got topics that you find that's going on in your life and you would like spoken about, then place that down in the comment section and I'll go get into the studies and I'll find out more and more about it and we'll discuss it. But we'll discuss it just straight talk. I can get on here and go through a lot of Arabic and go through a lot of jurisprudence and go through a lot of, but again, a lot of people's doing that. Yet a lot of people's not comprehending that. And a lot of people just want somebody just straight talk them. But be righteous, be truthful in what they're saying. Be righteous and truthful in what they're saying. I do this, even though I know that I'm not perfect. I know I'm not, by no shot. But that's not going to stop me from praising God and sharing with you, hoping to help you receive a better day, a better week, a better month, a better year. So by God's grace, I thank you for being here with me on the Brother's Corner. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Please stay strong. Remember, open your ears and listen to people when they're trying to talk to you. And see the things that they're not saying. And be encouraging in the things that they are. Continue to be encouraging. And let them know that life hasn't ended as long as you got breath in your body. It gets better. If that's what you choose. You brothers out there that have went in and been in and served all that time and stuff and you feel like you're alone, you're not alone. You're not alone. There are ones for you to be able to communicate with. I am one. I am one. I'm nothing big and nothing, none of that. I'm just your brother with 2 ears and a heart. Willing to just hear what you got going on and get allow you to, you know, get a break. I understand. Many times y'all will be hearing me and y'all will be doing just that with me. Allow me to talk to y'all to get a break from what's going on with me. Peace be unto you all. In Arabic we say Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you all. May Allah bless your day. May Allah bless your family. May Allah bless you. And may you be heard when you need to be heard. And heard in the mercy of God. I seek refuge in God from Satan, the rejected one. I seek mercy in God from Satan, the rejected one. I seek forgiveness in God, forgive me, from Satan, the rejected one. I seek forgiveness from God, from Satan, the rejected one. I'm your brother, if you allow me to be, right here on the Brother's Corner. Muhammad Abu Bakr Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah continue to love us all. May Allah continue to keep us in His grace. Ameen. Ameen. Allahumma ameen.
الرسول تشحذ الهمة. يا ربي بجاه النبي أزيح الغمة.